Hey, I'm Shelly.
And I'm Angela.
And this is Real Talk Dating Exposed,
where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of dating in your 40s. All right, so on this episode, we're going to talk about something that happens often, and we're going to give it a name because I feel like it needs to be given a name so we can talk through it and then we can recognize it and then we can get out.
Yeah.
And that's the textationship. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, the textationship. Not until we discussed it, but
yeah,
I feel like I fell victim to it a couple times.
Yeah, you fell in the trap.
I fell in the trap.
So let's chat through what is the textationship?
Yeah.
What does it look like? What are the signs? And then
how do we get out of it? Okay. I think the first major one is like the illusion of progress in the relationship, meaning like you'll get the good morning, you'll get the good night, you'll get the regular how's your day. So you're like, oh, he cares. But like nothing is moving on from that point.
Do you hate, like, is there anything you hate more than like a good morning text every morning? But like, then that's it.
No. And that's happened so many times.
Yeah.
Or like, how was your day? 3 days later. Or the good morning, you write back and then no response.
No response.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like this glimmer of hope though. You get a good morning text and you're like, aw.
Totally.
You thought of me the first thing in the morning.
Or the best thing is following up with that is like, we should hang out soon. It's not like, hey, are you free tomorrow night at 5?
I want to see you this week. What day? Yeah.
Yes, it's we should hang out soon.
Yeah.
Which leaves you again in that space of like, okay, I'm getting the good morning text, so they're waking up and thinking about me. When in reality, this goes back to what we've talked about prior, where like there's a dude that hasn't hit you up, but he's looking at your stories, don't think you're fucking special. Like you're just in his morning routine. Like he's sipping his coffee, you're on his feed. It's the same thing probably with dudes like this, right? Like wake up, go down the list, and chances are you're not the only one.
Yeah. So this makes it a trap because it gives you that sense of, like I just said, oh, he's thinking of me. So it's like this false sense of connection without any action, right? Where it's like, good morning, good night, sweet dreams.
And it feels like a false sense of relationship because you're like getting those.
That's what you would do in a relationship.
Yeah, that's what you would do. So like without the rest of it, which is actually like being in the relationship.
Yeah. So let's talk about the truths of this. Texting is not intimate. Sending a text is not intimate. It's not, in my opinion, it's not even a conversation. I would much rather have a voice note over a text.
For sure.
Because there's tone, there's inflection in the voice, there's all of that.
And I love voice notes.
Yeah. Text is not anything special, in my opinion.
And also plans are not progress. Like setting up potential plans does not mean you're progressing.
Yeah.
So like by them telling you like, hey, we should hang out soon and then keep dangling that in front of you, but then not physically following through.
Yeah.
That is not progress. So don't take it as such.
Well, you know what they say.
What?
Blueprints without action are just doodles.
Blueprints without actions are just doodles. Yeah. I mean, I love that.
So the moral of the story here is like there needs to be action to move things forward, right?
Yes.
Not just these little breadcrumbs.
Not just the breadcrumbs. Well, that leads to our next point, which is like, gosh, how many times we talk about this in relationships, like emotional breadcrumbing. So it's like you may get the good morning and then like 5 hours later get the like, I miss you. You know, where they're like, oh my God, they care.
Yeah.
No, they don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Right?
Or those like flirty text messages you get and you're like, oh, that was nice. And then it falls flat. Leaves you hanging.
Yeah.
Leaves you being like, wait, what? 1 second, you were all about me. Next second, I don't know where I'm at.
Totally. Or like the, hey, I saw your Insta, like you look so pretty today. Or just like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, the best is like, not even what are you doing, like WID, which I feel like is such like all these slang shit now, which I hate even more when people text me that. I don't know why, like just the WID. So you're wondering what I'm doing, but then why? Because you're not looking to do anything more than we're already doing.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah. Can we fix this? Because you're caught up in the leaf.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I knew you were going to be mad about that. What about, the check-ins, maybe like the love bomb text messages where again, it's just like just enough to get you hooked, but then leaves you scratching your head.
Yeah. Well,
I think these are all just like signs of those emotional breadcrumbs, right?
Totally. And I think what we need to learn from that is that like, just because there's sparks doesn't mean there's a fire. I love that.
Yeah.
But realistically, right? Like you're feeling those little pings, but ultimately like we're looking for the burn. Like even if it's a slow burn, we need some sort of burn. So
yeah, think about it this way. like quick hits like that, these quick little hits, these quick little text messages, they're like junk food for your heart.
I mean, junk food for your heart. I mean,
we don't want that.
We don't want that. But it's like addictive, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, those McDonald's fries.
They're freaking
They
good.
get you. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay. All right. Third thing to look out for in a textationship relationship trap is the convenience over the commitment. So I feel like you become easily accessible. Mm-hmm. But like without the effort.
Yeah.
You know, so like they're not really scheduling, they're just acting like they want to. So, I mean, real talk is I kind of just went through this with someone, like super nice guy. Mm-hmm. We did hang out twice, but then it just became like, how are you? How was your day? Like, oh, I saw your podcast. It's great. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, but what are we like, how was your time with your mom? You know, but then you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So if there's no dressing up, no vulnerability, no scheduling of anything, sorry to break it to you, but you're in a textationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we don't want that.
Yeah.
So basically why that's a trap also is because, again, you're feeling connected without the actual freaking connection.
Yeah.
So
it's a false sense.
It's a false sense.
It's a, what do we say? You're living in not in the moment, but in the potential.
In the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which leads to
the risk.
Yeah.
What is the risk? So we find ourselves in a textationship and we stay in it. What's the risk with this?
So I feel like the problem is you end up giving these people your prime time or potentially not making plans because you're hoping that they're going to make plans with you. But then also like your emotional availability, there's only so much energy we have, right, to give out. And if you're like filtering it into that human in hopes that they're going to show up, then you're
missing out.
You're missing out on the potential of other people that are actually going to be showing up available.
Yeah. You don't want to get stuck in the maybe. You do not want to get stuck in the maybe.
No, or in the space where you're always checking your phone. And I've been there before where you're like, oh, are they going to get back to me? And it becomes this like push pull. And like, we hate that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, every breadcrumb you chase is a feast you're missing with someone else.
Angela with the lines today. But it is true though, right?
Yes.
It is true.
Yeah. Do you want some saltine crackers or do you want like some turkey, mashed potatoes, and some gravy? You tell me
wisely.
Okay, so how do we spot this trap early?
Okay, so I feel like when you get a lot of like, we should see each other soon, or like, let me know when you're free, but like no action, like almost that open-ended. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like they're reaching out, but like they're not none of it's solidifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a big
I love that
flag.
One.
Yeah.
Another one is a lot of flirting, a lot of like teasing, but no plans.
Yeah.
Like once again, you're left to
hope that they're going to ask.
Right.
And not. Also like quick, short responses. That's a huge thing with dudes like this too. And the more we chat through this, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been in these situations a lot, which is like, they reel it in, but then literally it's like 1 to 2 word or like sentence answers, but like nothing more than that. So you're like, what are we?
Right. What is actually going on?
Yeah. So it's
right
not
now?
really depth, but it's just enough to be like, oh, but they're complimenting me or they're, you know, yeah.
Also, if they're like avoiding future plans, it could be a situation where it's like, I'm really busy right now. So like once things settle down, or this is like a busy time in my life, but it's normally not like this, but once it settles down, listen, if he wants to hang out with you, he will. Period. End of story.
Agree. And I think at the end of the day, the biggest line we live by anyway in relationships is that like, if you're confused, then there is your answer, right?
You
like
should never be confused. You should question or wonder
what's happening in your relationship, or even if you're in a fucking relationship. Yeah. There should be no questioning that.
Okay. So if we just rattle those off and you're like, check, 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 this is how you get out. Yeah. This is how you're going to break free of
the textationship.
Yeah. And get yourself out of that trap. You're going to set boundaries. So it could sound like, I really like talking to you, but I'm not really seeing this go anywhere, or I would like to spend time with you and that's not happening. Just let me know when you're on the same page and we can
go from
meet
there
up again. Yeah.
Or I feel like it's forcing clarity. So it's like, hey, is this like, get direct, which you and I love to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are we doing here? I mean, that's my like quintessential line. Like, is this progressing? Like, what are your intentions? Yeah. Get stern about where we're at.
Yeah. Love that. And we're not chasing. We attract, we don't chase, right? Yes. So if they can't meet those standards, then unloosen the trap and let your leg out and just go.
Agree.
Run.
Agree. Because it's easy to get caught into that toxic cycle, right?
Yeah.
Of like wanting and yearning. And then, you know, it's that anxious attachment that can come out. And we hate all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this episode with
another
quote.
Another Angela liner. Let's hear it.
So if they wanted to, they would.
Yeah.
If they were serious, you would know it.
Yep.
And silence and stalling are still answers.
Amen to that. If this resonates with any of you guys and you've been caught in a textationship in your life, drop some of your experiences below. And if you're not following us already, please do so.
Make sure you YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of the platforms, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in.